My name is John Alsop, and along with Maxine Sharon, who's smarter, far better dressed, far better looking, so ever so slightly shorter half of Web Directions. Welcome. For those of you who have come many, many times, thank you so much. For those of you here for the first time, thank you so much.
I began discussing the idea with publishers. I started designing the cover, did renderings, rough layouts of the artwork. I emailed all of the artists uploaded their work, publishers began making offers. I quickly realized, see here, this is kind of the feature graphic, which is maybe one of the top things in Persuasion. Meet Brock, which is an introduction. Brock TV, which is an introduction area. News, design in Photoshop. All of those boxes and rectangles should always occur before you enter a bunch of layers. And then when you get to layers, you begin asking the other questions that are also crucially important to the process. Is this shade of blue a little too bright? Does it seem like a nice bright day? Is maybe he too high in the sky?
Oh, there it goes.
Slides don't click properly. So we've actually got not just the one broken arm, that'd be silly having one, I've got two broken arms. So if I click a bit, sort of approach the jQuery, might be all backuses. Obviously, the developer's got a nice side part going on there. Elijah Manor, with obligatory 2.5 children, and John.
When you're looking forward, the best thing you should do is look backwards, right? See what worked, see what didn't work. And that's just
an incredibly nerdy engineering subject, and I'm not really that nerdy engineering. But what I wanted to do was figure out maybe we can do some things that will help us build actually useful things instead of being all nerdy engineering. So here's the very short lightning version of what DNS is. This is me. Hello. I have a hat. I'm in Sydney, which is over there. This is basically how I imagine Australia. It's basically green around the edge, and then there's an impenetrable desert in the middle, which I think is fair. I mean, that's fairly accurate, right? Maybe the desert's better.
But that's how it was. If you see widgets with that in, that's why. So the first incarnation of widgets were like this. This is one I made, which is a simple flashcard thingy. You get a little message and you click it if you got it right, and if you got it wrong, it will show you again in a few minutes. The only disadvantage with this is it's
Pretty far. Did he have glasses?
Yeah. In 2008 for some people that saw a design conference coming up, and they thought if they rented their free space because they knew that there weren't enough beds in the cities that they were living in to support the conference, they might get a little bit of extra money which they needed at the time. So they built this very small...
Half a second. Google has started to render. Bing has started to render. How do they do this? One, they're doing document flushing, right? They're still getting the search results. Even though it's fast, they're still getting the search results on the back end, but they flush the header, which doesn't have any dynamic information in it. They flush that to the browser so it will render quickly. And they don't have anything blocking that. We'll talk about blocking in a second. So we go a little farther. We can see at about a second, Google and Bing are mostly done. Yahoo's starting to render, still nothing from Ask. Right, so we have 1.5 seconds. The top three, oh, and by the way, these are in order of popularity in the US. Google first, Bing, Yahoo, then Ask. 1.5 seconds. The top three is rendered. We're still waiting for Ask. Right? So you have to admit, you can feel what that user experience is like. It's really, it's...
Sure enough, I'm from Austin, Texas. We don't get a lot of snow there. And I grew up skiing in northern New Mexico and Colorado, so I do everything that I can to try to break out of the Texas boots and belt stereotype and go